Here's the current stock market update for Tesla Incorporated, stock ticker TSLA. Before we begin with today's chart analysis, if you find these educational materials to be helpful in your trading, please remember to click the like and subscribe buttons and leave your thoughts below in the comments section so that other traders can find this information more easily on the platform. So as we can see here, we've got a 4-hour price chart. Each candle on this price chart represents a 4-hour trading period. And for the most part, we have started to see some downward kind of price movement here. These near-term lows come in more recently at 237.83. We can sort of write that in on the price chart here. So this sort of gives us our near-term support zone. And then to the top side, we're looking at 264.86 as the most recent price high. So for the most part, we have seen a bit of a downtrend price movement here, a bit of a reversal from these prior highs. But for the most part, the Fibonacci retracement zones that have been in place relative to this upward price movement here have mostly remained intact. We have seen share prices break below the 23.6% Fibonacci retracement, which would be right here. This was an area that we were watching, but we're sort of attempting to recover that area again. And if we were to look at the shorter term timeframes here, we would actually see that there was a price gap here to start the trading session. So, over the next few days, there is likely to be a lot of optimism that's centered around this stock. They're going to be having their robotaxi event. Elon Musk does like to have, these sort of big events. They haven't always gone well. But if we look at what has already happened this year, especially with Apple, Apple is a really good example of a company that has been doing these types of events and has seen extremely strong rallies in share prices after those events, even though some of those events really didn't, have much going on that was very eventful. Those Apple events were fairly boring, and there were some incredibly strong price moves that were seen earlier in the year. Share prices really did manage to break through some very important psychological levels, for example, like into that 200 area. Very strong price moves based on very little. So we will have to sort of see if that plays out here for Tesla as well. Of course, there's no guarantee that that would happen. These are two completely different companies. But my guess here at least would be that Elon has a bit more up his sleeve than boring Tim Cook, who has done nothing but probably destroy that brand since he's been the CEO. He's just incredibly boring and not innovative, and really doesn't seem to be doing anything at all, except doing whatever China wants him to do. But Elon, may have more up his sleeve. This might be more of an event to watch, and if that is the case, it shouldn't really take much to send prices back above this 264 mark. If we do see that happen, we have to remember that there is still this 271 resistance overhead. This was a fairly major resistance, as we can see here. Share prices did fall quite sharply. Last time we tested this area, this did result in a drop all the way down to 182. So, I don't really expect that to happen again. But this is a very volatile stock. I mean, if people don't know that, they probably should know that. There's a lot of two-way price action here. Doesn't mean I'm not bullish on the stock or anything like that, but you can see some very drastic price moves here in both directions. So this is something that needs to be sort of considered beforehand. A favorable response to this robotaxi event shouldn't have much problem sending share prices to new highs here, probably above 271. But if there are disappointments here, you could equally see some fairly sizable moves to the downside. So if we're just sort of going to plan for the worst case scenario here, the region that I would be looking at really does come in right around 233.10, which would be this orange zone here, the bottom of the orange zone. That would be the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement area. And this is also where the 100 period exponential moving average is likely to move into relatively soon. We're currently trading a ways away from there at the moment, but this is all going to depend on sort of public perception and whether or not things go well. Does Elon actually have a plan for full self-driving? Does the market believe what it's hearing? I mean, because the market has been quite skeptical about whether or not Elon is going to be able to achieve this anytime soon. So, a lot of this is just going to be based on short-term perception. But I do think that this, either way, I mean, I do think that this is probably going to result in some fairly drastic price swings. And it could be in either direction. My guess would be that we're probably looking at a topside price move rather than a downside price move. But there are some unknowns here. And if the market is kind of bored with what it hears, we could see sort of a buy the rumor, sell the news type of event, and then we really would be watching roughly this 290 area, roughly this 38.2% Fibonacci zone is really where I would be watching first. So right around 233 is where this comes into play. That 100 period moving average is going to be moving into there relatively soon. And then from there, the next downside price target would probably be coming in right around 213.50 or so. To the top side, it's going to become a bit more difficult to look at potential price movements to the top side. We would really need to sort of move out on the price chart a bit more to see where an upside price target would rest as far as break of 271 would be concerned. The first level that I would be watching, really does come in right around just below 280. There's some resistance there, but the main level to watch here does clearly come in right under that $300 level. So, if we were to see, a positive response here, it's possible we could blow right through there. But I do expect to see at least some resistance heading into $300. This is a very closely watched stock name. That $300 is just a sort of a psychological magnet. It's kind of an obvious price level to be watching. So, and there are also a lot of people that do short this stock. I mean, that is something that also has to be remembered. There is a very large portion of the market that does want Elon to fail because they don't like the fact that he supports free speech. Geez, what a terrible person Elon is for doing that. But there are a lot of people that do actually short this stock and look for short position locations. So I wouldn't be surprised at all to see some selling pressure heading into that $300 level if we do see a favorable response to this robotaxi event. So here's the current stock market update for Tesla Incorporated, stock ticker TSLA. Our high value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market. Lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership and start trading stocks with the pros.